Hi, I'm Daniel. This video, like the entire channel, is about how to handle money.
A physician in Chicago earns $380,000 per year. On the surface, her life looks like a blueprint of financial success. She leases a luxury car. Her children attend private school. She and her family eat at restaurants several nights a week. Her mortgage payment alone is $4,200 every single month. From the outside, everything signals prosperity, stability, achievement, security. But here is the uncomfortable truth. She cannot easily access $5,000 in cash without selling investments or using credit. Despite earning more in 1 month than many people earn in a year, her financial margin is razor thin. This story is not rare. In fact, it represents a growing pattern among high-income earners. Data shows that a surprising percentage of individuals earning between $300,000 and $500,000 annually still report living paycheck to paycheck, even among those earning more than $500,000 per year. A significant portion say they feel financially stretched. Most people believe income is the cure for money stress. The assumption goes like this: once you reach six figures, anxiety disappears. At $200,000 per year, life becomes comfortable. At $500,000, money should stop being a concern entirely. But reality does not follow that script. There is a phenomenon quietly affecting high earners. It is often described as the high-income poverty trap. The mechanics are simple but powerful. Income increases. Lifestyle expands in direct proportion. Fixed expenses rise. Commitments multiply. Savings remain small relative to earnings. Over time, income grows, but freedom does not. The trap does not care how much you make. It only cares how much you keep. The core issue is not intelligence. Many high earners are highly educated professionals. They understand investments. They understand retirement accounts. They understand compound interest. The problem is not mathematical. It is behavioral and psychological. Lifestyle inflation happens slowly. It rarely feels dramatic. A $15 lunch becomes a $25 lunch. A practical car becomes a premium brand. A starter home becomes a larger property with additional rooms that are rarely used. Each upgrade feels earned, logical, justified. The math technically works at every step. You can afford it. The monthly payment fits. The income supports it. But what changes quietly in the background is your flexibility. As fixed costs grow, optionality shrinks. The ability to step back, change careers, take time off, or handle unexpected expenses becomes limited, even at very high income levels. Meanwhile, actual wealth builders often behave in the opposite way. Many self-made millionaires live in average neighborhoods. They drive reliable, older vehicles. They avoid visible displays of luxury. They focus less on signaling wealth and more on accumulating assets. There is a critical distinction between appearing wealthy and being wealthy. The person driving a brand new luxury vehicle may have very little invested. The person driving a 10-year-old truck may quietly hold millions in diversified assets. Income creates opportunity. Behavior determines outcome. Debt amplifies the trap. Credit cards, car loans, large mortgages. These tools are not inherently dangerous. But when used to maintain a lifestyle that fully consumes income, they remove the margin for error. When income rises, borrowing capacity rises as well. Banks approve larger mortgages. Leasing companies approve more expensive vehicles. The numbers scale upward, but the percentage of income committed often remains just as tight as it. Was it lower earnings? A household earning $80,000 might spend $2,000 per month on housing. A household earning $300,000 might spend $8,000. Both feel pressure. Both have limited breathing room. The higher income household simply has larger numbers attached to the same structural vulnerability. Once lifestyle commitments are locked in, reversing them becomes emotionally difficult. Selling a home feels like regression. Moving children out of private school feels like failure. Downgrading a vehicle feels like public defeat. Over time, these decisions compound, not only financially, but psychologically. Identity becomes tied to lifestyle, and that is where the trap tightens. Because once spending becomes identity, reducing spending feels like losing status rather than gaining freedom. The difference between financial stress and financial independence is often one variable: savings rate. Consider two individuals earning $300,000 annually. The first saves 5% of income. That equals $15,000 per year. The second saves 30%. That equals $90,000 per year. Over 20 years. Assuming consistent investing and reasonable long-term returns, the gap becomes dramatic. The disciplined saver may accumulate several million dollars. The minimal saver may accumulate a modest cushion. That does not provide true independence. Same income, same economy, completely different future. High earners often assume that earning more will eventually solve the problem. But if spending rises every time income rises, the solution never arrives. Financial security is not automatic at any income level. It is engineered through intention. Saving what is left after spending rarely works. Spending what is left after saving does. Someone earning $400,000 who automatically invests $120,000 every year will still live very comfortably, just slightly below their maximum consumption potential. But over decades, that small restraint transforms into significant wealth, flexibility, and options. The high-income poverty trap persists because people optimize for lifestyle instead of long-term freedom. More income was never the answer. Ownership of your cash flow is. If this perspective challenged your thinking, subscribe and like for more insights on building real, durable wealth.